Hello everyone, welcome back to another tutorial. As promised during my live, I am back right now with a lot of decoupage tutorials using this newly launched Craft Angles decoupage napkins. So here I'm taking you through some of the designs which I personally love, and I have decided to use them over the period of next upcoming tutorials where I'm going to use many of these in different surfaces to create different decoupage projects. It could be mixed media style, it could be vintage decoupage, it could also be on journals, it could be on plastic, different medias like plastic, canvas, MDF, etc. Now, if you have seen my live of the launch, you would have already seen these products or the end results in the lives. If not, don't worry, I'll be taking you through each and every project with my new YouTube tutorial every time. So for this case, today's tutorial, what I'm going to do is I'm going to upcycle this plastic bottle. So first off, I start off with sanding. Now, plastic is a very smooth surface. So for the paint or gesso or chalk paint, anything to stick to it properly so that it stays over a longer period of time, I like to sand it. You will see as soon as I sand and then I apply a layer of craft angles gesso on top of it, you'll see how opaque it is and how well it sticks onto the surface of the plastic. And this happened so easily and it happened so organically is because you have sanded, so the paint has something to stick to on top of a smooth surface. Now for this you could honestly use any sanding paper of your choice. I normally try and use rough grit paper for this, and then I use smooth grit for like things like MDF if I want to do it. Again, for MDF normally I don't do a lot of sanding. So this things like sanding and gessoing my base, I normally don't show it in most of my tutorials. That is because this is kind of a very repetitive process which we follow for prepping any base object for decoupage. So what I have decided is that I will show it to you on the start of these decoupage napkin tutorial series that I'm calling them. And what I'll do is I'll probably do it in one or two starting tutorials where I'll take you through each and every step, and then in future I'll probably skip these steps. So here you can see I have added one coat of white gesso, then I dried it, and then I have added second coat of white gesso, and here you can see as soon as I have added that second coat, it makes everything so opaque and solid. Now this is the particular design of the design that I selected of the decoupage napkin to be used in my project. Now this decoupage napkins, as I said, are a recent launch at Craft Angle. So they are 20 GSM. So they are extremely thin. So the thinness, or how thin they are, is equivalent to one ply of your regular decoupage napkin. So this is going to follow the same concept, but here you will see they are probably different sized. So these are like 9 by 12 inches in size, and they are the design size is A4. And here I had selected the one that had four beautiful doors. It's called Springtime. Again, I'll link down all the products that I'm using about in the description of this video. So at any point of time, if you want to look at them, you can definitely check the same out. Now here you can see I'm just wrapping it up and seeing, how it works, etc. Once I'm happy with the kind of placement that I want on the project, what I'll do is I'll start off with one corner with some decoupage glue. Now remember guys, this is my first ever decoupage project, especially on a curved surfaces. So even I was not sure, what process I wanted to use, or, how it will work out, etc. So over the period of time, you'll see my decoupage technique refining, but I did not want to miss you out on my learning curve so that, you also learn something along the way just looking at my videos. So I start off with one corner, uh, applying decoupage glue on it. Now my brush is wet and I'm applying glue with it. So my glue is automatically thinning down when I'm applying it. Okay. And what I'm doing on my in my right hand is a silicone free paper sheet. Now these normally come with any adhesive or glue. So this comes in Craft Angle sticky bag backing. So initially I did not have a cling wrap. So I was just thinking if I could use, this silicone paper backing, which is non-sticky, to kind of, make sure that my decoupage is applied properly. However, later on, you will see me buying cling wrap and using that. And then I felt, cling wrap is very easy to use. So if you are new, learn from my mistakes and, get a cling wrap. And you can see I will follow the same process also with cling wrap, where I'm using the sheet to kind of move my paper and burnish the edges or the area where I have applied the glue, and then I'm applying the napkin. So I'm following the exact same process. I'm applying glue in the little bit area. I started from left to right. I started sticking the glue, and then I started sticking napkin from one corner. I used my silicone non-sticky sheet to make sure that it lies flat without any wrinkles, and then I moved towards the right little by little so that everything sticks properly. Once I am happy, I have applied another layer of decoupage glue, and here I was showing you my two mistakes. One was that little tear that came on the decoupage napkin while sticking, and then the other thing that I realized is that while heating to make sure that I dry the gesso, I kind of heated it a little bit too much, because of which my bottle curved a little. So, learn from my mistakes. If you always have time, let your projects air dry. Now, I did not want my door to just hang in the base, so that is why I kind of went back with some chalk paint, and I'm adding that chalk paint in the bottom, and then I'll kind of blend it out in the back and below the bottle, just to blend out the colors. So the blending I do is by adding a little bit of water along with the chalk paint, and then making the lighter shade of the same shade and blending it out in the background, so it kind of looks more organic. So the chalk pen that I'm using is coral sand color. Mostly you'll be able to see the names, etc., in the video itself. So that is the blending part. Again, guys, I was not worried too much about blending, because most of the front, in fact, more than the front, is covered of the bottle with the decoupage napkin itself. So, most people won't look at the back. So I could have honestly skipped the blending also. But since, I was painting it, I decided I might as well blend it a little bit. So that's why I'm blending out. And personally, if you ask me, for my first attempt, I'm really happy with how this bottle turned out. It had a few wrinkles, considering, I was using my hand, which is a strict no-no. If you are a new decoupage artist, don't use your hand to stick the napkin onto the base. Use cling wrap or folder methods, which you will see me using in future or also in our lives. So now that everything is dry, I decided to seal my project with decoupage varnish. And here I am showing you the difference between applying varnish and not applying varnish. Since this varnish is gloss, as soon as it is applied, it will even add more vibrancy to your napkins or decoupage projects. So you can see the colors have started popping off. So that is why, personally, especially for things like upcycling, where I am upcycling things like plastic, glass, etc., I prefer adding layers of varnish. I add two layers of varnish so as to make sure that it gives that longevity to my project, and it will not be impacted by things like water, humidity, etc. So I will apply the first coat, then I'll let this dry, and then I'll apply the second coat. Now again, these are very basic steps that I follow in most of my upcycling project. I may not show them to you all the time, because it will, increase the length of videos and they are fairly repetitive. But since this is the first project of my decoupage napkin series, I have decided to, show you each and every step along the way. And as I said, this was one of my first curved surfaces on which I did decoupage. So I wanted you guys to learn from my mistakes. So wherever I do mistakes, I'm going to show that as well, so that you will probably know and you will know how to not make them. So the learnings were to use a cling wrap and not to use your fingers when applying decoupage napkin on the surface. So here I leave you with some of the pictures of the project that we made today. I hope you enjoyed today's tutorial. I'll soon be back with another tutorial. Till then, guys, take care. Bye-bye.